Popularly known as Port Harcourt's best-kept secret, Rivtaf Golf Estate, designed to accommodate 1,000 housing units on a 40-hectare piece of land, is of course no big secret. Built in two phases, it has apartments, villas, townhouses and shopping malls. Its first phase is sold out, while the second phase welcomes new residents. Constructed by real estate firm Taff Africa Homes in collaboration with the River State government, is a success story that began 3 years ago.
It started way back in 2013, and it's about 3 years now. We've so far completed about 90% of the project, hoping to complete by the end of 2017. Already we have about almost 300 residents who's moved in. There's power, there's water, and sewage with security. It's in two phases really. The first phase will be completed by December this year, and then the other phase, the second phase, will be completed by end of 2017.
So far we have built 980 units comprising of townhouse and villas, which are 93 in units where we are standing. We also have the apartment, that's the high-rises, 680 units of them, and then that's all in comprises within the first phase. And then on phase 2 we are on the 80th unit, and so far over 250 residents have moved into their houses.
Taff Nigeria Homes is the special purpose vehicle created to develop this estate. The holding company is Taff Africa Homes and is operational in 8 African countries. Founded by real estate mogul Mustafa Njai, this Gambian has always had his sights firmly set on Nigeria.
I have always had an interest in Nigeria. I mean, way back about 20 years ago, and I realized that half the population of West Africa is in Nigeria, and for my business in housing development, you need to house people. So I've always targeted Nigeria, but waiting for the right time to come in. Everybody knows that to date, there's a shortage of 17 million homes in Nigeria. So, we can't exhaust it. We just see it as a huge opportunity, and we're here to stay.
With more water than land available in River State, the contractors had their work cut out for them, employing a technology that guarantees stability and durability of the structures. Taff Homes believes their buildings will stand the test of time.
Here naturally it's a swampy area, and a lot more filling needed to be done, which we have sand filled. Some areas are even up to 2.5 meter depth before you start your foundation. And the foundation is not an ordinary footpath foundation, but it's a raft foundation in all, where you have some up to a depth of 1.2 meter. And in some cases, a special counterfooting needs to be done to underpin the footings of the foundation properly.
And then on the high-rise area, we frame the entire property before we start the block works on it. So that keeps the house to be strong. No matter what it faces, both the rain or whatsoever, the house is stable, and then it keep the house in shape.
Because we wanted to move on a very fast speed, the apartments were built using steel structures. So instead of building columns and with concrete, which is conventional, we imported the steel, coupled them up like fixing up Lego, and then infill with block work.
Success recorded so far did not come without its challenges.
River State is quite unique because this is the Niger Delta, and there's a lot of, there were militancies that happen. There's a lot of community involvement in projects. So that was new for me. So it was a major challenge. I mean, how do we engage the community so our business will run smoothly? And we saw it as a challenge that we could overcome. So we ended up engaging them, creating employment for them. And today we are proud to say that, we have several of our contractors who are from the community. So we trained them up, and then we empowered them So they're part of us.
With estates springing up in Port Harcourt and most parts of Nigeria, the Rivtaf Golf Estate, according to the MD, is built to de-emphasize the mechanical look most estates offer and create a more relaxing environment.
Look around the estate, you will see how green it is. What makes it really different is the master planning. I mean, in the master planning, you can see that it's not all aligned where you have, axis going through a horizontal and vertical at right angles. You can see that you can see a lot of curves around with the buildings. The setup is completely different, and the landscape is also different. I mean, I can tell you that probably about 50% of the land is not built. We focused a lot on landscaping, so it's very green. So far, we've planted close to 3,000 trees, and more so fruit trees, and that's our trademark. If you go to Gambia, for example, on a 40-hectare land at the Beautiful Gardens, we've planted about 1,600 fruit trees. This was done about 5 years ago, and today it's matured, and there are fruit trees, mangoes, guava, all the tropical fruits, available at our estate. So the same thing here. So in the next 5 years, I mean, on average, you will have one family to 3 fruit trees.
It's like a communal living. Then it gives you room to have areas like where you have people who want to live like maybe in an apartment building, you have a place for them. Then area that want to live on their own, which you have the villas. So all this area is to accommodate every kind of person that want to live within the estate. So that informs the plan and then the arrangement that is being done.
Sere Ebuno is a resident of the Rivtaf Golf Estate. She describes it as a soundproof haven.
I'll call it a peace haven in Port Harcourt River State. When you're in the estates, you forget about the worries of what's going on in town or in the states.
For other residents, the customer service is a selling point.
I moved into this estate sometime last year. I used to stay in one of the good estates also on Peter Odili Road. I stayed in a bigger house compared to what I am now. I'm in the apartments now, but I can tell you, I will take this to the duplex because the finishing of the house is wonderful. The staff of Taff are very good. You call them anytime, they are ready to come. I know I've called the PM as late as 11 when I had an issue, and he was there.
Anytime that anybody's got anything defective, we're there to sort it out. We don't give you stories, and that is key. And that's what clients want. Clients want good customer service. If you have a pipe that's leaking, or something that's going wrong with your house, a lock that is not locking properly, you want somebody to address it. And that is why we have a defect liability period. For a whole year, anything that's defective, we're there to fix it. And then we have a warranty for 5 years on all our materials.
For a project that began in a time of plenty, the current economic headwinds Nigeria faces may be a threat to an ongoing project such as this.
Not everybody went down. I mean, there's always ways of thinking out of the box. And that's what we've been doing. We've challenged ourselves. We've been remodeling our marketing strategies. We have been giving incentives to buyers by stretching payments, making payment plans for them. So yes, the economy is slow, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. We have been quite creative in the way we market now our products, and we have been selling.
Taff Africa Homes is spreading its tentacles outside Port Harcourt. The company is in talks with the Abia State government to rebuild Ariaria Market, one of Africa's biggest markets. They are also looking to develop housing projects in Enugu and Akwa Ibom states. Taff is also negotiating for available development land in Lagos and Abuja. Outside Nigeria, the company is gearing up to make an impact in sub-Saharan Africa with a massive 1 million homes project.
Wherever we have the right housing policies, so if the government has got a huge appetite for a partnership with the private sector to deliver houses, then we're in. So now actively we're in Senegal, we're in Gambia, here we're in Nigeria, we're also in Togo. We're looking at Cameroon, Rwanda, Mozambique. I just came from Niger, you know, so we're looking at almost all the sub-Saharan Africa to deliver our plan of 1 million homes over the next 20 years.
Taff Africa Homes inspires young entrepreneurs through its Taff Enterprise Network. The Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industries acknowledged Taff Africa Homes' achievements by awarding the MD the Global Entrepreneur Award in 2016.
In the next 5 years, I mean, in Nigeria alone, we want to be in the top 3 developers in housing delivery. I mean, that's our target. As far housing, Taff should be a brand name in Nigeria. Just like, for example, you think about toothpaste and somebody will call out Colgate. So when you say housing, we should be identified with Taff.